General quarters.
Hello and welcome. Today I have a recent ranked battle for you guys. I am in the tier 7 Japanese battleship, the Nagato. This is a match on the map Islands of Ice. I haven't played this map in its new configuration many times. I'm not entirely sure whether I like it or not. Anyways, because this is a ranked battle, I have to play to win. And unfortunately, matchmaking fucked us really hard in this match. Because we get one Nagato, the enemy team gets two Nagatos. We get a Pepsi, the enemy gets a Pepsi. We get a Myoko, the enemy gets a Myoko. We get 3 Hatsuharus, the enemy gets 2 Hatsuharus. And then we get a Farragut and the enemy gets a Błyskawica. What the hell? The reason why it's really bad is because we have less firepower because we have one less battleship. A Farragut doesn't quite match up to a Błyskawica. And the Hatsuharu is pretty much the worst destroyer you can take into ranked battles because she doesn't bring all that much. Torpedo destroyers aren't very powerful in ranked, and well, the Hatsuharu, like the Mutsuki, has better concealment, so you can at least use her for capping. Unfortunately, you can't really do all that much with the Hatsuharu in that sense. I mean, she is still a fine ship, but she is definitely the worst of the destroyers you can take into it, in my opinion. Except maybe a Farragut, I guess, but again, we have the Farragut as well. So what happened is our team decided to go towards B. I agree with it, because I haven't played this match too much. I imagine they are more experienced. Unfortunately, one of our Myokos went towards the A-cap, this tank something guy. I have a poor impression of him because I had him in some games recently, and he didn't listen then, so that's why I had such a venomous remark. However, it seems the Myoko listened this time because she turned around and is leaving, or maybe that's exactly what she planned to do. Unfortunately, the enemies capped the A-cap before we capped B, so they have a slight points lead over us. And as you saw with the recent Błyskawica video, a slight points lead is pretty much all it takes to win a game sometimes. But yeah, I really can't imagine a scenario, or well, a plan, where we could really win the game. Fortunately, this Hatsuharu went into the A-cap for a little bit of time, which... never mind, didn't do anything. I thought that she was inside the A-cap for the time a tick took, but that's not what happened after all. The points are still the same. But yeah, I don't know what we should do. I really like this position though, because I can fire at one enemy at a time without enemies being able to shell me in return. At least not many enemies. But this Haguro came out from behind the island, so I'm gonna take a shot at her. Oh, this looks actually pretty good. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Jesus. Okay, now I can imagine a scenario how we can win the game. This is pretty much all it took. We are massively in the lead now. Yes, we have one less battleship, but they have one less cruiser. Or, sorry, they have one less ship. This definitely puts us in the lead. That one salvo was... that pretty much changes everything. We can definitely win this game. In fact, I think we're favored to win this game. Although, of course, this doesn't mean that we're definitely going to win, because it might very well be that the enemies just outplay us with the rest of it, but we had a massively good start here. So I'm gonna keep shelling this Nagato and try not to show my broadside to her, so that what happened to that Myoko doesn't happen to me, because that would be rather unfortunate. But that was a seriously good salvo. Just deleted completely. Sorry, I think the term was rebalanced. Usually I have a really bad time shooting at Myoko class cruisers because I tend to get overpens all the time. I guess this one made up for all of that. So now I can shell at this Pepsi without other enemies being able to shoot me. Although I have to be careful of that one enemy destroyer that's to the north. I don't know where he is I am not quite certain where the destroyer is, but I know that she went towards the north. So it could very well be that if I stay in one spot for too long, I might get torpedoed. Not to mention they still have 2 other destroyers left. 2 of them are torpedo ones. I wonder if these are torpedoes from the destroyer, or could these be like the Myoka's torpedoes or something fired from really far away? Okay, because they are this close, they are definitely not the Myoka ones. So those were Hatsuhara torpedoes most likely. Or maybe the Whiskoitsa actually. Whatever the case, I managed to avoid the rest of them and only took one of them. We should focus on that Hatsuhara now, because we can take her out. Right now it doesn't seem like the enemies are in a position to shell pretty much any of our ships. Okay, never mind. I guess the Hatsuhara is a bit too far away. Not to mention my friends should be able to deal with it. I'm gonna shell this Błyskawica instead, because this is how I'm gonna turn on my ship already. Not to mention we really need to make sure that we don't lose the B cap. So all kinds of shelling of the Błyskawica is a good thing. Unfortunately I blocked the way for this Hatsuhara. I'm very sorry, Brodino, but it just happened. It wasn't quite on purpose. But I hope you can forgive me. I figured that I might as well use my heal, because I usually don't have games where I can use all 5 anyway, so... And this Nagato is showing a nice broadside. Unfortunately, I only did 6,600 damage with that salvo. Whereas I was turning away and was really angled, and the enemy Nagato did 9,000 damage to me. I don't know where the sense in this world is, but that's what happened. So, it seems the other Nagato is also pushing through toward in the A area. I could shell him. Like I said earlier, I really like the positioning of these 2 islands. Like, I can isolate enemies where I want and pick like singular targets to shoot at, or only some, so that it's not as dangerous. But I think it might be worth it to try to finish off this Elbereth guy instead of the one at A, because I think Elbereth is more dangerous, because it's a name I recognize from a really long time ago in World of Warships. Unfortunately, I had really poor dispersion there. I had shells that went over the ship, and I had shells that dropped in front of it. Fortunately though, the enemy had luck as poor as mine. While she did get some hits, they overpenned. Or, sorry, I mean they bounced off their armor. I can't turn the way I wanted to because of this island. Like I said, if you don't look at where you're sailing, you might very well end up running into one. It's okay though. I got at least 1 shell hit this time, and hopefully I can... Oh, this is a good trait. I got a penetration and Elbereth got an overpen, so it went fine. We are actually massively in the lead right now. We are losing the A cap, but we are capping... sorry, we are losing the B cap, but we are capping, or at least threatening the A cap, which pushes the Pepsi on the enemy team into the A cap, which allowed me to hit the Citadel for quite a lot of damage. So we should definitely be able to pick off this Pepsi here, I think at least. So we should be able to get the A cap. It's okay then that we lose B. Although it's not certain that we're gonna lose B, because we have 2 DDs inside the B cap and a 3rd one coming along. We are probably going to lose our Pepsi as well though, because she is rather low HP and she is rushing into the B cap. And it seems that she might be potentially hit by both battleships. So I can't imagine the Pepsi surviving for too long. It doesn't help that the Błyskawica is also shooting her, I guess. But it's okay. We are going to take the A cap and we still haven't lost any ships, so losing the Pepsi is completely fine. While we are massively in the lead, this still isn't the done deal. We might very well lose it, because if we lose the Pepsi, we only have one battleship and one cruiser left. The enemy still has 2 battleships. So it could very well be that we might lose this one. I don't know if I can shoot it. I get the icon that the shells won't go over the island, but if you look at it, they went over the island fine. Weird. I didn't lead quite enough, but then again, I didn't expect the Nagato to turn towards me a little bit. But then again, I got lucky and still hit some and did some damage. Fortunately, we hold both of the cap zones, so I think that we are going to win this game. Because even if somehow most of our ships die, I think one of the DDs could still run, and we should still win in terms of points. Like, maybe not tick out, but we probably would win in terms of time. Not to mention, we're still gonna try to fight this thing. Miyoko is at half HP, so she might get picked off at any moment when a Nagato shoots her, or it might very well be that the Nagato shoots her like 5 times and does like 5,000 damage total, because everything's an overpen. I would like to shoot this Błyskawica because she is the closest, and if she keeps turning, I mean, if she doesn't turn, it might not be the hardest thing to hit. But that's not what the Błyskawica does, so I'm gonna try to take another shot at Elbereth. And it seemed my aim was okay. Unfortunately, dispersion wasn't the greatest, and the Nagato also was dodging, so couldn't quite predict that. The enemies aren't actually threatening the A cap, which means that we have pretty much won the game. Because even if they take B and somehow kill everyone around here, the A cap would still tick. Damn. That was really good dispersion on those shells. And like, the aim was also good, except for the part that the Nagato turned away, and that just made everything miss. Anyways, back guns on the other Nagato, I guess. At 14 kilometers, it's much easier to hit the Nagato than it is a Błyskawica at 12. I wonder if those shells were for the Błyskawica, I mean the Hatsuhara in front of me, or... Wow, I just got citadeled. That's incredible. Singular shell citadeled me. I don't know if I can keep going like this then. I would really like to pick off this Błyskawica. Like, a few shell hits would deal massive damage to her. Probably not gonna kill her, but a large percentage of damage. Much more than what I would probably... Oh my god, that was significant damage. Wow, never mind, those shells were absolutely nowhere near enemies. Time to use heal and turn away, because I am getting a bit afraid here. Oh! Oh! What? Game already ended. Oh, I guess we did have 2 cap zones. Never mind. But yeah, this game, we definitely were at a disadvantage in terms of matchmaking, but this Miyoko played really well, this Hatsuhara played really well, actually the entire team played really well. On top of that, I had incredible RNG on the shot against that Miyoko. So this was quite something. So, RNG beats matchmaking. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.